Hi everyone, and welcome to Pre-Calculus. My name is Marie Lastly, and I'm going to give you guys a little tour, I guess, of what to expect this year, a little introduction to myself, and just some breakdown of the class as a whole. So, without any further ado, here we go. All right, so like I said, welcome, and my name is Marie Lastly. I have been teaching here at Ballard for this is my fourth year. I also taught in a different state. I'm from Virginia, so I taught on the East Coast for 5 years before I moved out here. So total, I have 9 years of teaching experience under my belt, I guess you could say. And I have taught everything from geometry to Algebra 2, both honors and regular, and pre-calculus honors, and this year regular. So really the only math I have not had the pleasure of teaching yet is Algebra 1 and then AP Calc or Calculus. So I have a really good background of all the kind of math that students are going to need for this class, and especially those who are coming from Ballard's Algebra 2 curriculum last year. I did teach Algebra 2 at Ballard, so I'm very familiar with what students should know, what is covered in Algebra 2, and then also what's not covered in Algebra 2. So it gives me a really good background to kind of help students and figure out kind of where to go. I am, if you got my biweekly email that I sent out last Friday, you will probably already know this, but I am expecting my first child this year on Thanksgiving Day, if everything works out, I guess how it's supposed to. So you will have a long-term sub for part of the school year this year. Her name is Emily Markert. She was my student teacher last year, and unfortunately for her, she wasn't able to find a full-time teaching job this year, but luckily for me, that means she can be our sub. So it comes out to a really good situation. She already knows the content. She knows how I teach. She knows how to work the tech. She was with me in the spring when we did our videos in the spring because I still taught. My poor students still had to learn pre-calculus, even though everyone else was not doing much of anything. My kids were still doing tests and stuff. But they're better for it, right? AP Calc is going much better this year. So but yeah, so she was with me all year last year. She knows the content really well, and it should be a pretty smooth transition. You can still reach out and contact me if you need something like emergency situation, but she's going to also be your main go-to person to contact. And we'll definitely get more information on that when it gets closer to the due date, I guess we could say, right? All right, so we don't need that slide, but we need this one. All right, so here is the breakdown for this class. So I've tried to keep it as easy for students and parents as possible when it comes to how I'm doing points for this class. So Ballard does use what we call a point system for grading, so we don't use percentages, but my class is pretty much set up like a percentage, I guess you could say, because I try to make my numbers really even. So each semester is 1,000 points. 700 of those points are going to come from anything that's accuracy-based grade. Those are going to be your tests, your quizzes, and what I'm calling check-ins. Basically, what a check-in is going to be is each week that students don't have a test or quiz, they will take a 5-question like mini quiz that covers the material that we discussed the week that we're on. This is kind of just like a check, like I said, it's a check-in. That's why, I called it a check-in. It's just to see how well the students picked up the material from that week. And it is accuracy based. So these 5 multiple choice questions. They do get a grade at the end. They're only 15 points, so they're really small, but it gives students like a chance to like pre-quiz or pre-test themselves on the topics that they should have learned that week. And then so moving on to non-accuracy based grades. So our completion based grades are going to be 300 points. And those are going to be your homeworks and your exam reviews. And if you look further, so I'll just move my head around really quick. I have the 700 points broken down by unit. If you can see down here, so our check-ins are going to be 150 points total. They're 15 points each. There's going to be 10 of them. And then we do have semester exams this year, so 200 points for their semester exam. And like I said, their 300-point completion grade breakdown is going to be their homework, 10 points apiece. And they will have homework every non-assessment day. All right, and then they have their exam review. Next up. All right, so classroom policies. I guess my head is fine right there. Okay, so every synchronous day that our class meets, students will have something to turn in. Most of the time, that's going to be a homework assignment. Sometimes it could be a test or a quiz. All right, so each week they will have no more than 3 assignments to turn in. So on a standard week that's not test or quiz, they will have 2 homework assignments, and then they'll finish the week with one of those check-ins. On a test or quiz week, they'll have only 2 assignments to turn in. They'll have their, because all the testing and quizzes are going to fall on Thursday, Fridays. So they will have their Monday homework that'll be due, and then they'll have their test or quiz to turn in at the end of the week. So each week, like I said, they'll either have two assignments to turn in or 3 assignments if they have a check-in also. For homework, I'm giving students a 2-day window to submit homework. Now, right now, this is very lenient. We're still trying to get used to how to submit things, where to find things on Schoology. So I'm not really taking too many points off right now, or I'm not taking any points off right now for lateness on assignments. But as we move kind of into the school year and we get more used to this online learning, so probably once we're done with the first unit or 2, then they'll start getting penalized for turning in things that are after that 2-day kind of window. The one main rule is that once we do finish a unit, then I will accept no more work for that unit. So the hard deadline is the day we finish a unit. That's the day that all your missing work should be turned in to me. And the students know that. We talk about it all the time. The last thing on here is that there are no retakes, which this is new for students who have been at Ballard most of their for their high school so far. This is like the first time that they don't really see retakes. And the reason is because I think retakes, they don't benefit the style of my classroom. So I think retakes encourage this: memorize something for a day and then dump it onto the quiz or test, or do your retake really quick and then leave and forget about it. This class builds so much on the content that we did the unit before, more so than maybe any of their other math classes have, that strategy does not work for this class. So what I do instead is I offer extra credit. So at the end of the semester, students will have a chance to earn back 50 points, which is the size of a quiz. So it's kind of a large extra credit assignment. And what they're going to do is basically work through problems from the beginning of the year all the way through to the semester. So it's kind of like an extra exam review, and they'll earn points back by getting questions correct. So it's different than a retake, but it does offer the opportunity to earn back some points. I think it just encourages a different type of studying style, right? Instead of studying for a day, you're studying for a whole semester, and you're trying to actually learn the content over a long period of time. And I think that encourages like a better learning environment, I think, in my opinion. Now, I could be, obviously my opinion's not the only opinion, but for this class, I think it works really well. All right, last thing is Schoology and contact information. So Schoology, as I'm sure you guys are all aware, is where we have everything located for our classes this year. So yes, I have a textbook located on Schoology. OneNote is what I use for all of my notes, and that is also linked on Schoology. And it's where students are going to submit all of their work. I am going to have another video that does just like a Schoology walkthrough video, so you guys can see how I have my class set up. And then bi-weekly emails is how you're going to get your up-to-date information on class activities and what's goings on and things like that. So if I did email you last Friday, you got the first kind of taste of a bi-weekly email. Generally, they're much shorter. There was that intro piece to it this year that, because curriculum night was so far away, I just wanted to get it into that first email. But usually it's just a, hey, this is what we've done. Hey, this is what we're about to do. This is when grades have been updated, those kind of things. So they're just really quick emails that I send every 2 weeks. If you didn't get one and you would like to get one, please email me at mjlastley@seattleschools.org and I can add you to the list. If you would like to be taken off of the list at any time, you can just email me and I will take you off the list. I know we get a lot of emails all the time, so no judgment. I totally get if you want to be taken off the list. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I am so excited to be teaching your students this year. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. Have a good rest of your day, evening, whenever you're watching this. Enjoy the rest of whatever it is. Bye.